this trailer wasn't it. I didn't like this trailer at all. Bring back Henry Cavill.
It's the Lame Guys Podcast.
Okay, so a couple days ago, I rewatched Lilo and Stitch with my little one for like the 100th time or whatever. Even in my lifetime, Lilo and Stitch, classic Disney movie. And then it made me excited for the live action one that's coming out. Can't wait to see what they do with that. Obviously, truly, like, for real excited to see that one. And then today I watched John Campea discuss his review for Sonic 3. And, he said he liked it. He said out of the 3, it's the one that has to stay at number 3. He said, he really loves the first 2. And this one he really likes a lot. He doesn't love it, but he likes it a lot.
That's the opposite of what I've heard. Lauren, even, I talked to Lauren. She said she loves it. She says it's her favorite one.
Oh, really? Yeah, even his co-hosts were all saying that they were surprised that this is his least favorite. But he goes, I'm not saying it's bad. He goes, it's just if there's if there's a ranking, it's in number 3. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yes.
And then I was on Instagram earlier, and then I saw a little ad for Meet Bluey live in Dallas and yada yada yada. Okay, and it made me think about it. I'm like, who's the most famous Blue character there is for children, bruh? Honestly, because I thought probably I was like, look at Sonic, bro. Blue Hedgehog. Okay, great. He may not be this generation's favorite Blue character, but he's great. He's great. He's a legend. Then you look at Stitch, great little Blue character. Then I thought about, bro, look at fucking Bluey. He's the next big thing. And then it made me start thinking about other characters, bro.
Like who? I'm trying to think of Blue characters.
You got the Smurfs. You got the Smurfs.
Yeah.
You got Blue's Clues. You got Blue's Clues.
Yes.
That's another good one. Damn, I can't think of another one. Some of them trolls are blue,
Does a Blue Power Ranger count?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's marketed towards kids, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that could count too.
Okay. Out of all the ones that we've
question,
said,
but I'm just thinking.
Okay, yeah.
What's up with the
I
color
just found
blue?
it weird too because I was gonna say I found it weird too because I wore a blue hoodie, so I was like, so out of all the ones that you named,
so those 3, we'll go with that. I feel like each one is for a different generation, though.
Well, my counter to that would be is Sonic was big when we were younger, and it's even bigger now, arguably, because of the movies, the live act, the movies. So I think I'm gonna have to go Sonic. Bluey's big with babies, right? That's no debate. It's bigger with babies, but as kids get older, and then up to even where we're at now, Sonic is a legendary IP. And then Lilo and Stitch is Stitch is well known as well, but he's been kind of irrelevant for the past how long has it been since the movie was out?
15 years probably.
Yeah, now we're talking about him because of the live action movie, but would we be talking about Stitch on this podcast without him? Without the movie? Probably not. So I'm going to say Sonic. And part of me wants to say Blue Power Ranger, but that's marketed to boys. I guess Sonic is too, but more so Power Rangers is a boy thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then there's been so many Blue Power Rangers, like then you'd have to pick one, or do you just say it's just the one Blue Power Ranger? I'm going to go Sonic. I think Sonic's the most legendary Blue character.
Nice.
Does Superman count?
Okay, so I was going to say, does Superman count? Does Optimus Prime count? He's red and blue.
He's just wearing a blue shirt, though. Like, he's wearing a blue costume. Sonic's blue skin. Stitch is blue skin. Bluey's blue skin.
Blue's Clues is blue skin.
So like, I don't know if we can include Superman, because then if you include Superman, then you can fucking include like the Cowboys, I guess.
Okay, well then does that eliminate Power Rangers?
Yeah, I would say so then. Probably, if we're gonna go by that. That's why I said Stitch, or that's why I said Sonic. I think Sonic is the most legendary blue.
So I looked up the IP worth for the whole franchise. The Sonic franchise has an estimated gross of $12 billion in its lifetime.
Wow.
And it's $9 billion from the video games alone and $3 billion just from merchandise, which includes film, home video, and books. That's insane.
Wow.
That's absolutely insane. I I tried to look up the Lilo and Stitch one, mainly Stitch, but it just kept popping up with Lilo and Stitch and just talked about the box office, how it made
Yeah.
almost 300 million worldwide, and that's all it gave
Also,
me.
is Stitch kind of carried by Lilo?
No, 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 bro. People are going to see a movie just for Stitch. They're not there to go see no little girl. No,
Hmm.
no disrespect. Lilo's
I
great.
don't know. That's kind of debatable. I mean, Lilo was a big part of the show too when I was younger.
No, yeah, I mean, most definitely. But
I mean, the show is called Lilo and Stitch. Also, it's not just Stitch.
yeah, but you're there to see Stitch.
I guess. I
You're
don't know. I
gonna you're
wasn't.
gonna ha- you're
I don't
gonna
think
have
I'm. I don't think I was the biggest fan as you. You seem like you're a big Lilo and Stitch guy. I mean, I watched it when I was younger, but I could care less about it. Like I don't.
mm,
I don't even. I've seen the movie, yeah, movie and TV show, but I don't really care.
I didn't really watch it. Well, I lied. I guess I did watch a TV show because my siblings liked it a lot. But it was mainly the movie for me. Like I didn't watch the two other movies they made, Lilo and Stitch 2 and
Yeah, I
Stitch,
don't know if I did either.
the Stitch movie or something has a glitch or whatever. I didn't watch those up until this past couple months because we showed Elena.
Yeah, I don't remember if I did or not either. Yeah, I would say Sonic. That's my final answer. Sonic. What's your final answer?
It had to be Sonic.
Okay, yeah, I
It
agree.
had to be Sonic.
I agree.
And we'll just go right into the first topic for the show. We have a lot to discuss today. We have a lot. I
Yeah,
can't wait to
episode
talk.
61. Episode 61 of the Lame Guys podcast. I'm Mario.
I'm Vincent.
Yeah, and it's a lot to talk about, and a lot. Finally, it feels like we have something DC related that's good to talk about it, dude.
Yeah, about to say I've been waiting. I've been waiting since Monday, bro. Since Monday, we got the first little bit to start our week
Yeah.
off, and I've been waiting for us to talk. But before we get to any of that, we got some stuff to cover real quick. Leading
Okay.
into the discussion we just discussed with, or leading into what we just discussed, Sonic 4 is now been announced, bro, and it's in the works already for
Hmm.
2027. That's insane already.
It's
The,
insane.
the the third one just came out, and we're already
Yeah.
talking about, yeah, the fourth one's already in the works.
Well, and I found that weird what Campia said because all I've seen on social media is it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
even I think the audience. I think the last time I saw the audience review was 98%. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's accurate on Rotten Tomatoes. I've only heard great things about it. A lot of people say this is the best one. So I do got to find time to go see it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
same.
a weird time because it's coming out on Christmas, and then like we have kids now, so Christmas week is a busy week. Um, so, and then I want to go see Nosferatu, and it's like if I got to pick one movie on Christmas week, I'm gonna try to watch Nosferatu. So yeah, I do want to try to find time to go see it, but yeah, man. I mean, I think they knew it was gonna be good. The fact that they have Keanu Reeves in it, like I think they planned, and then especially with the positive ratings that it was getting, it was like for sure we're going with the fourth one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The Keanu Reeves thing, that's one thing that can't be a praise. He said that he is a great Shadow. He said just because
Okay.
Keanu's voice and his demeanor, he said for what Shadow does and he says his lines, like basically the lines for him, it fits perfectly. Like his whole character, it fits him. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can 100% see that. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, I'm still excited to see it. Yes, I still need to see that. Nosferatu is one you mentioned. Mufasa, I still need to see. Moana 2, I still need to see.
Mufasa too. Yeah.
I'm
I saw
so
I
behind.
saw Moana.
Yeah, I'm
I saw
so behind
Moana.
right now.
But I mean, I'm okay. I'm whatever about Mufasa. But I do want to see Sonic, and then I do want to see Nosferatu.
Campia said
That's
that.
all we have left, right,
Mhm,
for this year.
mhm,
That's all we have left.
yep. Oh, Craven, but you already watched that. So me, I have Craven.
Yeah, I watched that too. Yeah.
Campia said Mufasa. He said it's a good little movie. He said you take the music out, it'll be a better movie, which is crazy because it's a Lion King
Wait, he said
movie.
that
But
about
he said
Moana?
it's
Oh no, he
no. He
said
said
that
that about
Mufasa.
Mufasa. Yeah,
Okay.
he said you take the music
Wow.
out and it'll be a better movie.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I
Who
don't
was
think I'm gonna get a chance to go see it.
that's one I'm going to try to do as our family movie this year or for December.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that.
Uh,
That's right. You did
so
say that.
hopefully I can get that situated. I just got to try to figure out my siblings' schedule, but other than that, we'll go from there. Moving on to that, bro, the long-awaited Karate Kid trailer came out. Do you wanna discuss that?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really look all that appealing. I mean, yes, I'm gonna go watch it, of course, but I was kind of expecting a little more. I don't know. It kind of just seems like Daniel LaRusso is kind of just thrown in there, right?
He seems out of place to you?
Yeah, like it just kind of feels like he's just thrown in there. It was like it's almost like they were just like, I don't know if a Jackie Chan and some random kid will be appealing to people, so let's throw Daniel LaRusso, and then at least we can maybe get the Cobra Kai people to go watch it, right? Like I don't know how you felt about it, but I kind of just felt like it was whatever.
It wasn't what I expected. It was a very, like,
Yeah,
serious type
like
of
I don't
tone.
know.
It was a
Mhm.
very serious type of tone, and I was like, "Wow, okay, this is different. This seems like a serious type movie," but
Yeah,
I know it's not going to be, but I feel like the first trailer, they set that tone already, and I feel like it's going to have that, I don't know if I wanna say fun aspect to it because Cobra Kai is fun, but I don't know if it's
yeah.
still gonna have that.
It doesn't seem like it based off the trailer. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it. And then I thought it was going to take place in China, and it looks like it's going to take place in Los Angeles.
Oh, were they not in oh, well, okay, never mind.
No,
In the
they came
beginning
to
it in
yeah,
the beginning, it shows, Mr. Han, Jackie Chan,
yes.
um, and his student, and I'm guessing in China, and then they
I thought so,
come to
yeah. They
Cali.
come to yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And then he said how Daniel or how Mr. Miyagi felt about Daniel is how Mr. Han feels about this kid. And then I thought, okay, so what about Jaden Smith?
Mhm.
I thought, I wonder if this is like canon. I don't know. Have they said it's canon? Like, is that part of the thing? Have they said?
I just I remember when the synopsis came out, they did mention that, um, Jackie Chan will be reprising his role as Mr. Han, so I'm guessing with the reprising that, yeah, this is canon from the last one. I just
Yeah.
don't know how long it's been. I don't know what like, where we go from,
To
Jaden
Mr. Han
Smith.
variant. Like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just felt like it was weird. Like, it just kind of felt like, bro, y'all are just throwing this movie together. You're putting Daniel LaRusso in it just to get me to watch it, which I'm going to either way. But you're trying to
I
get these
don't
Cobra Kai. You're getting the Cobra Kai people to try to come on. Like, I don't know. I thought it was gonna have more to. I thought it was gonna tie more into Cobra Kai. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
who's to say it doesn't? Who's to say it
Yeah, I
doesn't?
mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's only one trailer, so I could be proven wrong, but it didn't feel that way. Based off the trailer, it did not feel like it's going to be tied into Cobra Kai at all.
No, yeah, like I said, the tone of it was definitely different than what I expected. Like, it started so serious and so not necessarily slow, but, like, I don't know, I guess I just expected action shots, a whole bunch
Yeah.
and just like a
Well, I think that's also because we're spoiled with Cobra Kai, because Cobra Kai
that's
has a
very true.
lot of action in it.
That's
Cobra
very
Kai has a
true as
lot of
well.
action. So that could be just because we're spoiled. But I agree with you. Yeah. And I just kind of felt it was like it was underwhelming. When does it come out? In May?
In May of 2025.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a long ways away still.
Yeah, it's gonna come out in May, and that by then, obviously, Cobra Kai will be over. We're done with Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll officially get to see if it ties in.
yeah, we will and I wonder if they're going to discuss that by the end of Cobra Kai. If they're going to at least
Yeah.
allude to something like this, or unless we're gonna get a time jump, and obviously that's when we're gonna meet or we're gonna see Daniel meet, Mr. Han.
Yeah, or maybe, like, they win, and then Daniel takes vacation to China, and that's where he
Mm.
meet I don't know, like, it's just a weird I guess I gotta just see. I gotta see how this ties in, but okay, so if it doesn't tie in, I mean, are you disappointed that it doesn't? Like, or are you still just whatever?
I'm whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be disappointed.
Okay, well, yes, and because I'm expecting him to tie it in, I will be a little disappointed, but at the same time, I'm like, "Eh, fuck it, bro, I get a Karate Kid movie, I'm happy."
Yeah. Like, what if he doesn't mention Sam LaRusso? Or what if he doesn't mention, like, Johnny? Like, like, I think that's gonna be annoying. I think that's gonna be annoying, especially if it takes place in Los Angeles. Like, you're telling me, bro, not one time. This is just my assumption off the first trailer. I could be completely wrong, and Johnny will be in it, and everybody will be in it. I don't know. But I'm just gonna be disappointed if Cobra Kai is not intertwined somehow, other than just Daniel LaRusso.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like
No, yeah, yeah.
I don't need the Cobra Kai people to be the main star. I obviously that's Mr. Han's kid, but I do feel like they should be entwined somehow.
Yeah. At least mention, alluded to, make it known
Alluded
that
to
it's a
maybe
big part of Daniel's life.
maybe one would assume, right, that Daniel Russo is even going to help train this kid. Maybe bring in some people from the dojo to spar with him, like to teach him their ways, like the Miyagi way. Like I need to see that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I just hope that they don't just like show Daniel and then Cobra Kai is not even addressed.
Yeah. I don't know. We still got some time away. I mean, we just finished this last set of 5 episodes, so we have 5 more left. So we'll be able to go from there and see how Cobra Kai ends. I'm gonna hate when it ends because I know that's it. We're not getting any more. But
Yeah,
we still have
me too.
Karate Kid Legends to look forward to. All right, so moving on real quick, we got a little bit of a Beyond the Spider-Verse news coming from Sony. I mean, in the midst of all this, Sony Spider-Man universe is going to, come to a halt and everything. We discussed at the last episode. We got a little bit more tidbit on the long-awaited Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. We discussed that it's not really a long time, but from where they left us on that cliffhanger, it's a long time
Yeah.
for us to get this third movie. And what's annoying is that this movie is already supposed to be out. Like, that's the annoying thing. Like, we were already supposed to get this movie last year, I think, or earlier this year. So the
Mhm.
fact that we still don't have it is insane. But Sony did come out and they decided to mention that we have the directors of the film, Bob Perschetti and Justin K. Thomas. And the two directors came together and they came out and said, we have crafted what we feel is a very satisfying ending. Now they say that.
Yeah, I mean, it just lets me know we're not getting the movie for like another 2 years. So, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Um, I kind of just thought they were gonna kind of just go like, I mean, I don't know about you. I thought they had potential to go 4.
Uh, I mean, they do have the potential. They do have the
Yeah,
potential.
yeah. I mean, and just because they said they they found a good ending. I mean, I guess they could spread it out still to 2 movies.
Yeah, they could still spread out to 2 movies. And we've said it before. Like, I feel like I'm a hypocrite because I understand and we agree before that animation takes a lot of time. It actually hasn't been that long since we've had this movie. There's been movies that
Yeah,
take years and years and years to get a sequel. We discussed that when it comes to the Batman. We're discussing it every single time we bring this one up. But yet we have movies like The Incredibles, which took 12 years for them to get a sequel. It's like
yeah.
it's going to. I mean, when they give us a sequel, they're going to give us a sequel.
Hmm.
When they're good and ready, then we'll get our movie. But it sucks because you and me both, we saw the ending to Across the Spider-Verse and we were like, oh, bro, we need this like now. We need this yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and I think also, like you said at the beginning, they announced right that it was going to be out last year or early this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that just, and then this was the second movie already. So we're just ready for the third one. I think with Incredibles it was different because we didn't know if we were getting a second one. Like I don't even think they ever said. And so it
No.
was like a thing where it was like, yes, we want the second one, but we don't know if we're ever going to get it. This one we know we're getting the third one. So I think that's why it just feels like it's taking forever, but it is what it is, bro. I've already kind of accepted it. I think it's going to be like another 2 years before we get it.
God damn. And what's sad part is I know you're right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be another 2 years. Good thing is it's animated, so doesn't matter if people age behind the scenes because it's animated. So our Miles will still be the same age. He'll still look the same. So it's just yes, you're right. I mean, just the ending of that movie was just so it was great, and so you want the next one, dude. I mean, it is what it is.
I like the way you said that. I didn't even think about that as far as since it's animated, you don't have to worry about the actors aging at all.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to sound, I mean, they're going to look the same regardless.
Hmm.
And that even plays into what we just mentioned, The Incredibles. Mr. Incredible and Mrs. Incredible sound the exact same, but we know that there's been
Yeah, we
there's
know
been a
that their
decade in
actors are
between.
not the same. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's gonna come out in 2 years. So what does that put us at? 2026, which is already gonna be a big year anyways, right?
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Well, as far as all the other news, we done. I wanted to breeze through that shit so we could talk about why we're here. We could talk about why we're here, bro. The Superman
Superman
trailer
trailer.
finally dropped, bro. Monday we got the teaser. It was we kind of heard in the whispers that Monday we're going to get a little bit of a little seed planted because apparently The rumor was that a whole bunch of people from the press were going to be invited to Warner Brothers Studios to get a preview of the trailer. And
Mhm.
it was true. They did. And James Gunn and Warner Brothers and the Superman accounts all over social media dropped a little teaser along with the first poster and a little hints of the score. And gosh, dude, I could not wait for this trailer to drop. And now it's here and I loved it.
Yeah. Uh, did you have more hype? I guess I know my answer. Did you have more hype for this movie's trailer or the Batman vs Superman trailer?
Ooh, I actually have to think about that one because it's 2 different times.
Yeah.
2 different times. Did you think I
Isn't
was
that
gonna say Batman vs
crazy?
Superman?
Like, I thought you were gonna say Batman vs Superman, but isn't that crazy? Like looking back at when that movie came out, like how different, like what different places we were at in life.
Mhm.
Like we had just started Costco, right?
When what? Batman vs Superman?
Yeah, or no?
2016?
Yeah, that's when I
Oh,
started at Costco.
shit.
It was
Okay.
2016.
Okay,
So
then
same
yeah.
for you.
Then yeah.
Yeah, we had just started.
Damn, yeah, 2016.
Yeah, this is crazy. I thought you were gonna say Batman vs Superman. Yes.
I was going to initially say it, but then, like I said, I'm just thinking, I truly feel like the hype is the same. I really do.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say Batman versus Superman. I'm
that's
not going
fair.
to say Superman. It's the same
Yeah,
because it's just
that's
the
fair.
unknown. What's this going to bring? That's just it.
Also, I think before we get into the trailer, I think it hits more now because of everything we've been through with the whole Snyderverse, everything we've been through with the ups and we have one win and then we take like 3 or 4 losses. Then we have like one little win and we think we're going up and then we take like 3 or 4 losses. And so this one is just it truly fits the Superman mold where it's like it's just hope. It's just hope that we can get this DC shit off the ground running like MCU, like the MCU run that they had. Like it's just hope. And I think seeing the trailer, this is the first bit of it that we get, and I think it just makes it just I don't know, it just makes it resonate more a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Bro, July 11th can't come fast enough. I watched this trailer probably about 30 times already.
Oh
I
wow. I think I've watched it like three. I'm
fuck
not gonna
no,
lie.
bro. I've watched it so many times. I've showed so many people. I've sent it to my family's group message. You know, I've reposted a place because I really like this trailer gave me everything, but it also gave me nothing of the movie, if that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
agree.
And
Mhm.
I loved it. Um,
It's almost like it just showed spots, and it
yeah,
wasn't even like it was just like random spots of the movie.
random spots of the movie, and it sh- it showed a different Superman, and which we knew we were going to get, but I mean, another version of Superman that you could just look at and you go, "Holy shit, bro! Look at him, bro! Like that's
Yeah,
crazy."
yeah. So first off, right off the jump, I absolutely enjoyed the trailer tremendously. I don't know another trailer that I've had hype for other trailers, right? Like Spider-Man, of course, right? You know, Deadpool, Wolverine. I was hyped for the trailer. I've been hyped during trailers.
Mhm.
I don't know if I have another superhero trailer where just feel good hype, like it just made me feel a different way. Um, and I think that ties back to I'm just so happy just to finally see it on the screen, just to go to the movies one of these days and see it on our movie screen, just to know that it's finally happening, just to know this James Gunn universe is finally taking off. Like I think that adds into it as well, and it was an amazing trailer, bro. The music that they picked for it was beautiful. Everything about the trailer was amazing. I loved it.
The music for the trailer is it John Murphy? I think that did that rendition of John Williams' classic Superman theme. I loved it because for those who do not know this Superman, they probably don't even know the actor's name, David Cornsweet.
Mhm.
They know that song though. They know that theme. So it
Yeah,
almost feels that nostalgia hits them. And then that like I'm home. Like the older
Mhm.
audience are going to hear that and go, oh, like I'm home. Okay. I can resonate a little bit. I can relate to this type of Superman that they're going to give us in some type of way. Um, the suit, very vibrant, straight up classic comic book suit, different from the Henry Cavill suit, which me and you both love the Henry Cavill suit and what Zack Snyder gave us in that movie. I absolutely love that suit. Um, but this one, when we first got the first image of him in the suit, it was you see it in the trailer. You see the suit kind of all like burnt up a little bit. My boy looks tired in that image,
Yeah.
and we all discussed it. Looks a little baggy and everything. I didn't have a problem with it, honestly. I just thought to myself, right, in the movie, it's gonna look a little different. It still looks a little baggy. It's not skin tight. But I'm not gonna lie, in the trailer, it looks fine to me. It does not bother me one bit.
Um, so I love the trailer, like I said. Um, I'm officially sold on David Cornsweet being our Superman. I've been sold for a little bit now,
Yeah.
but this officially nips it in the bud. Like, this is it. This is what we're getting. I'm all in, right? Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go on this ride. Um, I will say that I still do not like the suit. And no homo. I wish it was a little more skin tight. I just wish it was, bro. Henry's was skin tight to him, and it just looked like it was, and that was all him. And I just thought the suit looked amazing. This suit, it's definitely different, and I'm not trying to compare because this is a completely different Superman. But I'm still not a big fan of the suit. So hopefully, maybe later on he gets another one, or whatever. What does my opinion matter? But I'm still not a fan of the suit. But David Cornsweet himself fits that mold, bro. He looks amazing. His hair, everything just fits the mold. He looks fantastic. My favorite scene of the trailer was at the beginning of the trailer, when he catches that little girl.
Mm.
When all the shit hits, and then he swoops in, and I just thought, oh my gosh, that's Superman. That's Superman. Like I just saw that one part, because I think the beginning of the trailer starts and he's in the snow, and then he calls
He crash landed. Yeah. He called
Yeah,
crypto.
yeah, yeah. He calls crypto. And then like at the beginning of the trailer, he catches that girl right away. I was sold. Right away, I was sold, bro. I was sold. Um, Everyone on Twitter seems to love the trailer. I think I saw some people talking about they didn't like the color grading and shit. Like, bro, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares? Just be happy for once. Like, just accept something for once. I just feel like it's a prime example. You're never gonna please everybody, but it was just amazing, dude. It was an amazing trailer, and the numbers are doing crazy on it.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to point this one out. We were discussing the suit, and we're talking about how it looks on Henry rather than David Cornsweet. I think we've sent it to each other on Twitter because there's been this past week we've been sending a lot of the same shit to each other. But James Gunn mentioned the suit, and he said James Gunn didn't want the new Superman costume to look like quote a wet T-shirt. I didn't want it to have a bunch of fake muscles in it, and I didn't want to airbrush abs on it. And I'm like, I I get it. I get it because I mean there are the skin tight suits where you will have to add padding and everything like this, or you can just give him a suit and just say fucking go, bro. Like build yourself up and go. I mean, try to define the suit, as best you can. And to me, I thought he looks good in the suit. I think I'm just sold
Yeah,
just because it is just the classic comic book stuff. Like I get it. You can have the classic comic book and still have the skin tight suit. I'd be perfectly happy with that. I know, like we all know, this isn't going to be the final suit. Maybe by
right.
the end of the movie, he's gonna get a new suit. By
That's what I'm
Superman,
hoping for.
yeah, Superman 2, Justice League, whatever the hell we see him coming out of next, in the next time we see David Cornsweet, he's gonna have a brand new suit. That's gonna be fine.
Mhm.
But for the first
Yeah,
suit, I'm happy.
yeah. Him as Clark Kent looks fantastic as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will say that Henry had a more cool guy vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he ain't no
Like
nerd,
even
bro.
him as Clark. Yeah, like even him as Clark, like bro, he's just a cool ass motherfucker, bro. He's a good ass looking dude. Not that the kid David isn't, but David pulls off the 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 nerd type more better. Like this, does that make sense?
Yeah, he's quirky.
Yes, like him as Clark Kent fit more than Henry as Clark Kent.
And it works, and I completely agree. Because you can look at Henry Cavill Superman, and just because he has glasses, you just go, there's something about
Like
you
here,
that's
look at
different.
this. I don't know if you can see it, but look at this picture.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, like Henry looks like just a cool guy, like he's dressed up as a nerd for Halloween, if that makes sense. But David actually looks like a fucking nerd right there.
But what's so cool though is that you can look at David. I mean, and you know this as well. But you can look at David and go, and if you're in Metropolis, being his coworker, you can look at this motherfucker and go, this guy's a nobody.
He ain't Superman. Yeah.
He ain't you ain't Superman, boy. What the fuck? Get
Yeah.
out of here, boy. Look at your glasses. like,
Yeah.
like, but Henry, his motherfucker, his coworkers at the Daily Planet was looking at him like, I can't put my finger on it, but something's
Yeah.
off about you.
Yeah. He just had a different presence. Whereas
Yeah.
like I'm not saying David doesn't, but like Henry just didn't pull off the nerdy look like that. Like he was just too much of a specimen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was just too much. Whereas David, I feel like pulls that off better. But it still doesn't change my opinion. I think Henry Sue is just I thought it was fantastic. I'm not saying that I hate his suit, but I'm still not a fan. So maybe it'll grow on me when I see it in action in the movie. And I do think that that's not the final suit. He'll get a different one.
Um, what you call it? I mean, it makes me even think about how the Man of Steel suit. I can say I love that suit, but I love the Batman vs Superman suit a lot more. Henry's bigger in it. He's bigger on it, and he looks
Yeah.
more defined, and like the symbol is bigger on him. Like everything's just more
Mhm.
enhanced on the BVS suit rather than the Man of Steel. And I didn't know that
That's fair.
until we ended up getting two suits. So as of now,
Yeah.
I'm loving this one. Watch us get a second suit, and I go, "Oh, this suit's way better than what the hell we got before."
Yeah.
I
Do you
love the
think
fact.
James
Okay,
Gunn
go ahead.
says that though? Do you think James Gunn says that though because just David isn't as big as Henry? Like I think if you're someone as big as Henry, you almost have to do the muscle tight skin shirt suit, right? Do you
Yeah.
think he's just like David's not that, so we're just not even going to try to do that?
Mm.
Because he did gain size, he did get big. I'm not
Oh,
knocking on him.
bro. Yeah,
He's
that
swole as
motherfucker
fuck.
is
Like he's bigger
yoked,
than
boy.
like he's way bigger than me. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying like he's not as big as Henry was.
Mm.
So it's like Henry, you had no other option, right? Like you had to do the skin tight suit because he just was fucking huge. But David's not that.
No, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like I think what I'm trying to say is I think James Gunn, he can say what he wants, but I think if he was big as Henry, he would have done the skin tight.
Maybe.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
even like then the Supermans that I've seen in animated, bro, like it's skin tight. It looks skin tight to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he's
yeah.
swole as fuck every time I see Superman.
But it kind of fits the MO that James has been doing. I mean,
It
for the
does.
most part, all his superheroes have all kind of had not as skin type. Peacemaker different though. He's very different.
Mm,
Because I think that
yeah,
also fits his character. Peacemaker's a very cocky motherfucker. He is all about his muscles and everything like that. So I can like for him, it makes sense that he would want the skin tight stuff so you can see his muscles and everything like that. But
that
when
is
you look, go ahead.
that's true. But I think John Cena is also just too big. You can't not do skin tight. Like,
Very,
you know what
very
I'm
true.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
bro, you think, oh, this double XL will be fine. Not for a motherfucker like John Cena. He's gonna make it look skin tight.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? An XL shirt fits me way different than the XL shirt that we gave Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley's just too fucking big.
Yeah. Very, very true.
So it's like it goes back to what I'm saying about Henry. Like Henry was just too big. It wouldn't matter what you put on him. It's gonna be skin tight.
Good point. I like that James Gunn came out and said that he originally was going back and forth about the red trunks on the Superman suit, and
Yeah.
David Cornsweet changed his mind, and that's why they
Hmm.
have the red underwear, bro.
Yeah.
David Cornsweet, I have it right here. David Cornsweet influenced the decision to wear the trunks. Quote: Superman wants kids not to be afraid of him. He's an alien with an incredible powers, so he dresses like a professional superhero or a professional wrestler. That's a cool little bit right there. Like that
Yeah.
little thing that David told James made him completely go, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to use the red underwear, bro.
Hmm.
That's a cool
I'm
that's a cool little detail.
yeah. I love Henry suit. He didn't have the underwear.
Yeah.
I don't really care either way.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Uh, but I'm also not one of those because there are certain people that believe Superman needs the red underwear, right? Like
Yeah.
that he needs it. I'm not one of those. Like I don't care if he has the red underwear at all. Like I don't care if he does or not if he doesn't. I just don't want it to look dorky as him being Superman. But that goes with what James Gunn's saying. He says he dresses like a professional wrestler for kids. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't bother me either way. I thought they looked good. My issue is with the suit itself, not the underwear.
No, yeah, I get it. Um, we're talking about how much we love the trailer and everything like this, and we've talked about it before about the pressure of this trailer and the pressure that Superman has in general. Do you think from this trailer alone that it relieved some of that pressure? Because even James Gunn, when he was visited on set, because with the same press that showed up Monday to go visit, to go see the trailer at Warner Brothers, they also went
Mhm.
to apparently go visit the Superman set months ago, and they've kept this, for secrets for all this time. But some of them got James Gunn talking, and he talked about he's feeling the pressure that there's a plan, but if Superman doesn't work, we're just going to stop making these movies.
Yeah.
Like that's an incredible amount of pressure that if off of one movie, if this doesn't work, we're done. We're not going to continue.
Mhm. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it because on one hand, I think the positive reviews from the trailer goes to show that yes, we're going to get something absolutely fantastic. But then on one hand, I look at the trailer and I think, okay, the amount of people that are happy about this movie and are happy about the trailer, now the movie has even more pressure in a sense because it's like they're going to go expecting to see a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of torn about it because it's like I see the trailer and I think, oh, we're getting a fantastic movie. I don't even got stressed, bro. James Gunn, he's a fucking legend. He's giving us nothing but bangers. What do I got to worry about? But then I also look and think that trailer was fantastic. So if I go to the movie theaters and the movie's not good, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. Um, so I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about it? I'm kind of torn.
I think if there was any naysayers about how James Gunn's Superman would feel, I think it's gone. I think
Yeah,
this pressure, I think this
that's fair.
trailer, if there was pressure, there still is pressure for James Gunn. But I think just releasing this trailer and getting the response that he's been given, minus a very small group of people that we will discuss in a little bit, I'll bring it up. I feel
Those
like he
Snyder
goes,
fan bitches.
I feel like he has a weight lifted off his shoulder a little bit, not the full weight, but he's definitely lifting a little bit off,
Yeah.
going, okay, so they like it. Now let's give them a movie where they're going to love it.
Mm. Yeah. Um, I mean, it's just I feel like my whole negative things about this whole thing has just been towards Warner Brothers. Like, I have full faith in James Gunn. I have full faith that this movie is going to be great. I have full faith that this DC universe has the potential to be fantastic. My whole thing is about Warner Brothers, and so I just hope that if Superman underwhelms from a box office standpoint, I just hope that Warner Brothers isn't going to be like, okay, we need to change shit or let's pull shit. The fact that James Gunn is saying that kind of worries me a little bit because it's like for him to say if this doesn't do good and then all these plans are going to be wasted. Like I don't know. I mean, do you think he's saying that from his standpoint of like he just feels like he wants to put something out fantastic and if it doesn't feel fantastic, then he's going to lose momentum or he's going to lose the want to make this universe? Or do you think he's saying that from a standpoint of Warner Brothers is behind my breathing down my neck saying like this shit better be good or else we're not going to get any more movies?
I think that's him. I think it's all him.
Like he's just putting all that pressure on
He's putting
himself.
all the pressure on himself because not only is he the director, we both know this. He fucking runs the studio, him and Peter
Mhm.
Safran. So he even knows that it's not necessarily Warner Brothers. It's also him that will say, "Oh no, fuck it, we're done. We're not doing this no more."
Yeah.
No, because I think it was a genius move for him to be the director of the first movie to lead us into the DC universe because it's one of those situations where Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself. He doesn't want to give it to someone else where he can go, oh, gosh, I hope they deliver. I hope this. No, he goes, I'm going to make sure we deliver and I'm going to make sure we do this right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I still stand by the statement that I made a while back that this movie doesn't need to make a billion. It just needs to be really, really loved by fans and
Yeah.
critics. Because the reason I don't think it, I mean, I wanted
I
to
don't
make it.
know. I mean, I think it's more on pace now to make a billion than it was
You're
before.
right. You're 100%
Based
right.
off the trailer.
It's more aligned to make a billion now. A billion doesn't mean successful, but it definitely, I mean, it shows success, but it doesn't mean it's going to be successful. But
I'll say this. Can I cut you off just for a second?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Just, I will say this. This stat that I'm about to read, all the movies that are with it are billion-dollar movies. Biggest Culture Crate put out this tweet. Biggest online trailer debuts ever. You may have this. You may have already seen this tweet.
I saw it.
Spider-Man: No Way Home, 355.5 million. At number one. Avengers Endgame, 289 million. These are the trailers. Avengers Endgame, the official trailer. That was just a teaser. Avengers Endgame official trailer, 268 million. Superman, 250 million, came in at number 4. And Deadpool and Wolverine, 242 million.
And
All billion-dollar movies.
This is 24-hour debut, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So all billion-dollar movies.
Yeah. Sticking with what you said, as far as this is a lot, like this is now on track. Then like this is it has a better place now than what it was before about being a billion-dollar movie. And that's fine. If it does make $1 billion, you're not going to ever hear me complain. I'm fucking happy. I'm singing to, the heavens about it. But I will still say that it doesn't need to make that type of money to prove it's successful. It just needs the fans to actually come out and show that, damn, we actually like this movie a lot, because the general audience doesn't care about DC anymore. We've discussed this on here before. Black Adam was actually a good movie. No one went to go see it. Blue Beetle was actually a fun movie. No one went to go see it. The Flash had its problems, but at the end of the day, it was okay. No one went to go see it because fans are just tired of DC. All these motherfuckers that are complaining about Henry Cavill not being Superman anymore, they obviously didn't show up for Black Adam, and he was in there. And it wasn't any surprise. Warner Brothers themselves put out that thing saying, hey, you want to see Henry Cavill? He's going to be the after credit scene. They put that out in the freaking marketing for Black Adam. So it's like James has to bring this fan base back, or not even fan. They have to bring the general audience back to DC saying, look what we have to offer. So come see our movie. Let us sell you on our product so you know the future is bright. So, I mean, hopefully we can see $1 billion in this movie's future. I would love to, because Superman is one of the top superheroes in the world. I mean, for us, both of us, he's in our top 3, basically. I mean, we both agree that him, Batman, and Spider-Man are pretty much 1, 2, and 3. I mean, in any order, however you want to decide it. So it's like, I feel like it's deserving of a big ass box office, but I just want this movie to be really, really well loved. That's just it. At the end of the day, that's all I want.
Yeah. And I think James is smart. I mean, he's smart. The first one for it to be the Superman movie. Like we've said it multiple times. Superman is top 3 superhero no matter what. No matter, it doesn't matter if he's in your top 3. He is a top 3 superhero no matter what.
Yeah.
Top 3, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, whatever order. But Superman is in that 3. And it makes sense. I mean, Superman is a superhero that can bring these fans that are not superhero fans to the movie theaters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Black Adam is not that. Other movies are not that. Superman is that. And I think that's why this trailer did so well. And I think that's why now people are like, oh, a Superman movie? Like, this looks fantastic. I'm going to go watch it. I agree with you. I hope that they actually show up. The trailer did numbers. I hope that the people actually show up, because, we're going to do our part. We're going to at least see it at the very least 2 times. At the very least 2 times. So it's just a matter of everyone else showing up. It's just a matter of, word of mouth, telling people like, hey, this is a different DC. This is, James Gunn, the guy. I'm sure if you told people the guy that made Guardians of the Galaxy is making this one, I'm sure that would get a lot of people to watch it. I'm sure a lot of people don't know, though, that he's making it, like people that aren't in tune with movies, aren't in tune with superheroes. So I think he's smart for the first one to be Superman. Superman is just a well-loved character, and it appeals to everybody. Superhero fans, movie fans, people who aren't movie or superhero fans, they all know Superman. So, and then you're right. You mentioned it earlier. The people who grew up with freaking the first Superman, what was his name?
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeve Superman, right? Like, it opens a door for a bigger audience. So I agree with you. The fans need to show up. And I think they will. I think it's at this point, I truly, just based on how much momentum the trailer got, how much I saw it on social media, I think it's going to hit $1 billion. At first, I didn't know if it was going to be honest.
No, this definitely leads us in the right direction for that big box office. I brought it up earlier. I'm getting so sick and tired of these fucking Snyder fans, bro. I'm so tired of I mean, I couldn't imagine just sitting there going, "This trailer wasn't it. I didn't like this trailer at all. Bring back Henry Cavill." I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine that. Like I look at it like, bro, I'm a Superman fan. I should just be fucking happy I get Superman in a movie theater, bro. I should like
Mhm.
these people that claim I love Superman. I love Superman. No, motherfucker, you just love what Snyder gave us, and that's all you ever want to see for the rest of your life. That's insane to think about,
Yep.
and that's coming from me, bro. I saw Man of Steel in the theaters for the first time, and I was blown away. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I loved it so much. I saw BVS 5 times in theaters. I was one of those motherfuckers that, hey, bro, every single time these fucking fans said, hey, put out hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I threw that hashtag out there. I wasn't no cultist like these other motherfuckers that are paying for banners and all that stuff. Nah, nah, nah. I wouldn't do any of that. But I love what Zack Snyder gave us. It's one of those things where, like, okay, I let it go. I welcome what we're going to get with this new universe. I don't get why these Snyder fans, Snyder cultists, hang on so tight. And now they're the ones that are commenting on social media saying the colors look bad. This
Yeah.
Superman doesn't look good. The suit and this and the music and yada yada yada. Like everything is negative. I'm like, God, bro, I couldn't imagine being y'all. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, as much as I love Henry, I told my wife this yesterday. She even said, yeah, she liked the trailer, but it's not Henry. But I told her, I was like, I agree, but you know, this is what we're getting now, and I'd much rather see Superman on the screen than not see him at all. So, and it's like one of those things where it's like some people just can't let go, bro. I guess. Like I don't know. Like I guess me and you both love Henry, we both love Ben Affleck, but it's like, bro, I just want to see the character on screen. As soon as they said Ben Affleck wasn't going to be Batman, and they said Robert Pattinson, I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's run it. Like I just want to see these characters on the big screen. So I don't know. I agree with you. These people that are still commenting negative things and saying they want Henry and the Snyderverse never got its final ending, bro. You need to blame somebody else. This has nothing to do with that. Like you need to stop putting all your shit into this. Like this is something completely different. And for whatever reason, the Snyderverse failed. It fucking failed. I don't know why people can't accept it. Like it failed. It was a flop. Whether me and you like the movies or not, it was a flop. Financially, it was a flop. So some people just can't get over it, man. I don't know what I don't know. I feel like you should sit down and look at yourself and say, it's strange that I'm just in this small group of people that like this, but everybody else has moved on and everybody else is willing to accept that that was a flop, but we're not. I mean, it's a fucking cult. I mean, that's what a cult is. Like, so yeah, I find it crazy that some people are still holding on to that shit. Like that's insane. There's still people fucking asking for the suicide cut. Like, bro, get over it.
Yeah. Um, I want to read this to you. It's a tweet that from someone that when Snyder's DC was still here. It is someone that I followed on Twitter because they put out a lot of cool shit. So I thought, oh cool, I'm just gonna follow it because they're following everything DC and I want to see that. But now they are very annoying because they are one of those Snyder cultists that can't let go. Sure enough, the trailer comes out. They're right on it, bro. And they have the image of when Superman crash lands into the snow and everything like that, and Crypto saves him. Okay, and they also have the image from Man of Steel when Superman crash lands into the snow and he stands up. So that's where the premise is. So he said, and that's the difference between actual movies and fake comic book movies. Superman crashing into a snowy landscape, picking himself up while recalling his father's words of encouragement and trying again, versus Superman calling Crypto to drag him home because that would happen in comic book. Genuinely dog shit. We're going to see a lot of people realize Gunn is giving them exactly what they wanted and asked for, and they'll end up hating him for it in the comparison to the quality we had in the past. Saying that basically fans that have been begging for a real comic book adaptation of Superman are going to realize they don't want a real comic book adaptation of Superman. They want the I guess the quality that Zack Snyder gave us, and fans are going to end up realizing that, oh damn, we had something good before, and then we just took it for granted. I don't understand this type of mentality. I don't.
Yeah. I think, you know, the Snyderverse at the end of the day, it has its positives, but it doesn't matter what me and you think, dude. It financially didn't do good. So I don't know how someone could say that those things when financially it didn't do good. So maybe this one will. And I don't know how people can still hold on to that because it was a flop. I don't know why people still don't understand it was a flop. Um, I don't know. I think it's smart that they're doing this. Clearly, people didn't want the real take on how superheroes would be if they were really there. Um, I think that's what Zach was trying to go for more. He was trying to do like a more realistic thing, if you can even do a realistic thing with Superman, Batman. Um, that people want the actual comic book stuff, and I think that's what the MCU did so well. And so, James Gunn is going to bring this, and I hope he proves all these Snyder people wrong, bro. And the sad thing is that
It's not
even if
gonna
this
matter.
does hit a billion, yep, the sad thing is even if this does hit a billion, you are still going to have your peoples there saying shit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, they can say what they want, bro, but it. We're done. We're moved on. I will tell you what. I do think that them releasing the Snyder cut enabled these people even more.
Oh, oh, you are so right.
If they would have never done that, I'm not saying we wouldn't have Snyder cultist people. We probably still would. But the fact that they released the Snyder cut just enabled them even more. And now they're holding on to this so tight. And it's like they just can't move on.
And it's one of those things from after the Snyder Cut came out, I had to really realize that, damn, bro, they didn't have to do this. This is just a little bit of a, you know what, y'all asked for it. We'll finish this movie for y'all. And that's it.
Mhm.
it that's bro, it was just a little gift and I accepted that gift and I moved on. I'm gone now. I don't need it. I mean, I still will come out and say, Ben Affleck is still, my number one Batman. And if, I would still love to see his movie to this day. I would still love to know what him in versus Deathstroke would have given us. But it's okay, bro, because James Gunn and his DC universe, who knows? Maybe they're going to give us that one day. So, I mean, I can only like just move forward with what I'm loving with the superhero genre. I can't always like fucking like gosh, like give me that in the past or anything like that. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm going to say it every once in a while, but I'm not going to be like these fucking cultists that I keep on saying it. But it's, I'm not going to be that. I can't be in that mentality.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, me either. I just would rather see Superman on the screen, bro. So it's like, no matter how
Yeah.
I feel about Henry, I'm just happy to see Superman on the screen. So it's like I'm gonna be excited either way, dude. I don't know. Some people just
At the
can't get
end of the
over
day,
it,
as
bro.
long as I get this, I'm happy, bro. As long as I get Superman, that's all I'm happy
Yeah,
about. I
I
don't
agree.
care who it is. Just give me Superman. I'm happy.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So kind of brought him up a little bit, but we've been hearing some rumors, bro, about the
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's Matt Reeves Batman merging with the DC universe.
Let's go. We fucking need it. We fucking need it, Vincent. He's the best Batman that we've seen on the screen. We need it.
Wait, bro. Wait.
I just
Hold
said that just to piss you off.
on. Wait, bro. Oh shit. Let's pump the brakes, bro. He's a great Batman. He's a good number two. He's a good number two for now.
I don't know. I'm already
For now.
moved on from Ben. For me, Robert Pattinson is my Batman. He's my favorite Batman right now. Ben was, and I agree with you. The potential for Ben was fucking. I just think of a movie with him and who the guy that was gonna play Deathstroke. I'm going blank on
Joe
his name.
Manganiello.
Yes, I think the potential that was there, outstanding. But I've already moved on. I'm not gonna lie. I've already moved on.
No, yeah. Um. So as of right now, it's just nothing but rumors. Campia kind of alluded to it though on his podcast and said he's heard some whispers and to stay tuned for 2025 of some announcement involving Matt Reeves and the DCU. And from there, all we've heard on social media is that Robert Pattinson will be the DCU's Batman.
Hmm.
And fans, social media, love it. They love it. There's no issues with it. They are eating this shit up. I feel like I've been the only one in the in the minority of saying I don't know, but I will say this. So, when the news first started coming out, me and you would send each other stuff, whatever, whatever. I've been talking to Marco a lot about it, and when I tell you I've been having these internal type arguments with myself because I've been trying to figure out what's the pros and cons, because that's truly what it is. Because I love the idea of we're going to have Robert Pattinson's Batman be the dark realistic Batman, and we can have James Gunn's DCU Batman be the comic book Batman. And I love that idea. I really, really do. And Matt Reeves has gone on record saying that his Batman will have no connection. James Gunn has gone on saying Matt Reeves is going to do what he needs to do over there, and we're going to do what we need to do over here. They will have no connection. Matt Reeves came out a couple weeks ago and said we won't do anything fantastical or mythical or whatever inside our Batman. Cool, sounds great. Because I know we're going to get it in James Gunn's universe, so I'm okay with that idea. And now these rumors are out, and it's making me think, wait. So I've been having to stay okay with the mindset of we're going to have two separate Batman. First off, I win. We get two Batman. You're telling me I get two different Batman at the same time. I'm happy. But now you're telling me that everything y'all said in the past, forget it. Now there's a possibility we're only going to have one Batman, in this one that we're supposed to get, like the realistic one, is now going to be the one involved with the mythical stuff. I've been trying to wrap my head around it.
Okay, so I understand, right? You are a bigger Batman fan than I am. I understand. You want the comic accurate, mythical type Batman. I totally understand. I get it. I think that you can do both. I think that this is a young Batman, and however they decide to do this. Remember, maybe more than a few episodes ago, but on this podcast, I said, what if they did it to where, like, this Batman this Batman ties into that Batman, whereas like this is like his origin, like this is like his early days, and then they age him up a little bit, and then we get like the James Gunn Batman as Robert Pattinson. I think you could do that. I think that just because we have seen a more human, realistic version of Riddler, Penguin, and the Joker, I think that it can still be done because Batman still has so many other rogues. He still has so many other villains. Like, just because we've seen a more realistic tone in Matt Reeves' Batman doesn't mean that we can't, you know, level up a little bit, right? It doesn't mean that we can't go up a little bit in the
Yep.
in the just the wildness of Batman's villains. Doesn't mean that we can't see a big steroided out Bane, big CGI Bane, right? Like, doesn't mean that we can't get a big old clay face like it is in the Batman games. Like, I think that you can do both. Yes, now we already have a Penguin. Like, we can't change that, right? Now we already have the Riddler. We can't change that. I guess Riddler could change, right? Like, that's just the beginning. Like, he could get out and completely change, and maybe we see like a Jim Carrey Riddler, like not, maybe not right on like that spot on, but some sort of that. I just feel like you can do both. Am 100% on board for Robert Pattinson's Batman to be the DCU Batman. 100% on board. I loved Robert Pattinson's Batman. The movie was fantastic. Robert Pattinson himself was fantastic. I'm 100% on board. I would like a mix of both. I would like a big mix of some realism, and I would like a mix of just over the top shit in a Batman movie. I think you can do both.
So Marco brought up a very good point, and from after when he's okay, so when he said this is when I started my internal back and forth of, okay, what's the pros and what's the cons? How can I get on board? Why am I the only one that's not on board with this idea? And then, like, that's when it started. So Marco said it is not too late to do a total tone shift in Robert Pattinson's Batman. He said
I agree. We've only seen him once.
he said you've only seen him once, and you had a very good starting point, and it is not too late to start different. So when he said that, I was like, okay, other than what James Gunn and Matt Reeves has said, it's not too late, because the audience doesn't know what they've said. They don't know the quotes they've said. They don't know the interviews. We know because we fucking pay attention. And that's what I told Marco too. I said, they don't know that they both said they're two separate. We're going to have two different Batman. They don't know that. as of right now, the general audience only knows one Batman, Robert Pattinson. They
Mhm.
don't know that there's going to be a Brave and the Bold that has a Damian Wayne. So this age is going to be, all the like Batman's going to be a little bit older because Damian Wayne is, a younger Rob. They don't know none of that. We do. So with that, it had me starting to go. I'm like, okay. So if they say in the next movie, Rob Pattinson isn't going to have a, is going to okay. So Rob Pattinson can have a tone shift. Obviously, his suit can be a little different. Nothing wrong with that. You got to upgrade yourself every once in a while. That's fine. You could shift that up. By the end of the Batman, he even talked about he needed to be a certain symbol of hope type thing, like try to be bigger, than what he is. Okay, cool. You kind of have a nice little launching pad right there. But then I also told Marco, and you brought it up too. They started off with the perfect villains for the first one. Penguin is not mythical or super powered anything. He's a mob boss. Riddler is a mofo that does riddles and blaze life or death traps. Perfect. Catwoman, a cat burglar. Cool. They laid the perfect 3 villains to start us off with this Batman universe. So if
Mhm.
you tell me that these are the only type human non-superpowered, beings that we have, that there's obviously more, like Professor Pig, Joker, Harley. Like you have all these other non-superpowered beings. Yeah, that's fine. But they laid the groundwork with these 3 and said, okay, now here's the realistic ones. Okay, cool. Now the next Batman, we're going to get into some Court of Owls type shit where it's basically the Illuminati type, esque of Gotham, but they have the Talons who are essentially zombies,
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, that's a little bit of a shift, but you can ease them in to the mythical and fantastical world of the DC universe.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hard to do. And I've been trying to wrap my head around that. Like, how many stories have I read of Batman where they don't have superpowered beings, but yet I know that this same Batman in the next issue of a comic is going to join the fucking Justice League and go to space. And there is nothing wrong with that. That he can come back to his comic and go fight some bad guy, like some regular ass henchman. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. So I've been having that type of like back and forth saying I would be okay if they said it, okay, this will be our new Batman. We're going to switch it up a bit. From now on, it's going to slowly graduate to the fantastical, mythical type esque of a DC universe, comic book universe. I'm fine with that now. Um, but I also said if James called me and said, "Hey, which one do you want to have? Either 2 Batman or 1?" I'm saying 2. But as of right now, no, 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 no. As of right now, though, I've definitely got a lot more on board than when I first started hearing these rumors earlier this week. I'll say that. Like I am like if they said this is it, I'm like, okay, let's go for it because I can guarantee that they will announce that tone shift. They will say Batman in his movies will slowly graduate to where you can see him have a realistic take, but have some super villains in this motherfucker, and then still go join David Corn Sweat Superman in the Justice League and whoever else they introduce later on. And plus the this type of Superman being a very bright, like hopeful Superman versus, with this dark, brooding Batman, they look so good. They look so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm curious. I'm trying to find what this reason is for you. Like, why are
Oh,
you
oh, okay.
so like
I
why don't you like Robert? Like, I know
no,
you like him, but like, you are the biggest Batman fan I know. And like you said earlier, you just want to see the character on screen, right? Like, yes, you may like this person, but at the end of the day, you don't care. You said earlier, you don't care who plays him,
no,
right?
yeah,
It seems like you do care, and it seems like you don't want it deep down in your heart. You're trying to accept it, but you don't want Robert Pattinson to be the DCU Batman. And I'm trying to figure out why, because like I feel like his movie was fantastic, and Robert Pattinson himself was fantastic, and he's a year 2 Batman. So it's like, James Gunn's his vision is him with the Bat family. So like there's so much potential to do. Robert Pattinson himself is like 39, I think. He's almost 40.
yeah,
Yes, he looks young, but you can age him up. Let him grow out his beard, and then right away you have your Batman that I believe has a Damian Wayne. Robert Pattinson just he has so much potential, and like it's there right in front of us, and you already had a success. And so it's like, why switch it, right? Like, I don't want two Batmans. I'm going to be dead ass honest. I don't want two Batmans because a general audience, that's confusing to them. You
Yeah.
said it yourself. We know these things, right? We know these things. We know the difference between the two. My parents don't. A general audience doesn't. They're going to be asking me. I don't want two Batmans. That's confusing. I would much rather have Robert Pattinson and have his universe. And then if you want to level up each time to where it's like, the mythical type shit, that's fine with me. Completely fine. But Robert Pattinson himself, I'm 100% okay with. I'm trying to figure out why you don't really like him like that. Like, why hasn't he, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, why hasn't he just resonated with you to like envision the future or something, Like, I don't know. I'm
So
trying to figure it
so
out
I
because
thought I forgot to bring this
you're the
one up
biggest
too.
Batman fan I know.
So I forgot to bring this one up too. I've been doing this with a lot of with a lot of these superhero films. I'll say this feels like a graphic novel and this feels like a comic book film. BVS feels like a graphic novel. Aquaman feels like a comic book. Tones
Mhm,
wise, it feels like a comic book.
mhm.
Robert Pattinson feels like a graphic novel. I want a comic book Batman in that type of tone. Um,
Was Ben
Ro-
Affleck a comic book Batman?
that was a graphic novel, but at the same time, you start him off standing next to a Wonder Woman and a Superman along with Doomsday, to where you just go, this Batman has to have this Batman has to stand out on his own to show that he can stand next to these gods and monsters, if that makes sense. I look
Yeah.
at Robert Pattinson, and if I throw him with Henry Cavill, Wonder Woman, and Doomsday, like in that movie, I'd go, that doesn't match. That doesn't match at all. The
Okay, but let me stop you there. Look, couple things. One, I think you're forgetting that a Ben Affleck Batman is a much more aged Batman than Robert Pattinson's year two Batman. Two, we've already moved on for them. So
No,
it's
no, I
like,
know, but that's the example that I have right now because
I get
we
where you're,
don't
yes,
have that. I
yes.
can't say. Oh, I already said
I
right
think
now
for
that.
you,
Go ahead.
you just, me too. This is why I love Ben. He was just a brute. And I think for you, you love that. You love, like, I think that's he was a brute to where physically, like you just said, you could stand him next to Superman. You could stand him next to Wonder Woman. And yes, he may not be able to beat them, but like from a physical standpoint, he looks on par. Um, and I think that Robert Pattinson is a more slimmed Batman. And maybe it reminds you of Christian Bale. I don't know. I'm trying to just, yeah. I mean, yeah.
So,
Maybe it's just
so,
yeah. You just want the comic book Batman.
and it may be a brute type thing, but I don't even look at it like that. I like I said, I look at it as I I I want that comic book feel to it. And these are all comic book characters. These are all superheroes. I get it. I get it. I get it. But that's the best way I can explain it. I even told Marco this. I realized Christopher Nolan's DC or his Batman universe, that's a fucking novel, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's a comic book
Yes.
novel. That's no graphic like that's not a no. This is you're just reading a story. You don't see any pictures.
Mhm.
Snyder is a graphic novel. I expected James Gunn to be a comic book. I can open any one of my regular issue comic books and see this fucking panel. And that's what I kind of wanted at this point because I've already seen too much of the realistic Batman. I want a full comic book Batman. And the detective Batman aspect, it's all over comics. I get that. Yes, I know who Batman is. Marco pointed this out. I think I figured you out. And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Follow me. I think you have PTSD." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I think you have PTSD." And he said, "Because you were about to get your comic book Batman with Ben Affleck in the Snyderverse, and then it was taken from you. And then you got this realistic Batman again, and you like it, but then you were told you're about to get another comic book accurate Batman, and now it's going to be taken from you again." He goes, "I think that's why you're not on board." And I was like, "It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense."
Maybe.
But at the
I mean,
same
I
time,
don't think
go
Ben
ahead, go ahead.
Affleck's was gonna be comical like James Gunn's though. I look at Ben Affleck's Batman and I think graphic novel. Like I don't think comic book Batman. I don't think Aquaman-esque comic book movie Batman. Like I think yes, his movie with Deathstroke probably would have been par for par like the comics or par for par like the game maybe. But even the games, like I don't know, well the games are a comic book movie, I think if you had to say, but I don't look at Ben Affleck's Batman and I don't picture him with James Gunn type Batman. I'll say that. Like I picture him more with the Robert Pattinson, if that makes sense. Like the styles, right? Like the more graphic novel esque, like how you're explaining it.
Yeah.
I put Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck in that same category, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like, and for me, I just look at it, it's more Rob Pattinson's a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
That's just it. And Batman and Ben Affleck's wasn't. Like, just like
But just because he was already thrown into
his
Justice League,
world,
though.
even in BVS, it wasn't realistic. It was a realistic world as far as like, how would this world perceive Superman? Yeah, I get that stuff. But he was already thrown into a world with superheroes. So, like I said,
That's what I'm saying.
he had to stand out in that own to where like I he was a superhero in itself. Robert Pattinson
I
is a
guess.
realistic ass Batman. Like I could
Yeah, but he's not with other superheroes. You get what I'm saying? Like
no, yeah, I get
Ben
it. I get
Affleck
it.
was thrust into this group of superheroes already. He was thrust into a movie with Superman.
Yeah.
So automatically, like I think that's just a different scenario. Robert Pattinson, I think he's only year 2. Like, bro, we could do so much with this Batman. Like he's only year
Oh,
2
yes,
Batman.
and how you've been saying the potential is, we have so much potential with this Rob Pattinson. I do. I get that. I'm just still in that notion of, and I kind of like how Marco said, it's like, bro, I'm about to get it. It's going to be taken away from me. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be taken away because just like how he said too, they could do that tone shift. It's not too early. You can do that tone
Yeah.
shift and get this comic book version of Batman that, I've been looking for. You
I
know,
think you can do both. I think with Robert Pattinson's, it opens the door to do both. I think it opens the door to have your Penguin. Like Penguin's not going away, bro. Colin Farrell as Penguin,
oh no,
motherfucker's
no,
not going away. Like
no.
he's going to be there. So you can have your realistic, human like villains, and then Batman has so many villains, bro. There's we could still see Robert Pattinson fight these people that are comic book esque, and maybe when we get to Mr. Freeze, he's comic book Mr. Freeze. Like I don't know. I think Robert Pattinson. Me personally, I don't want 2 Batmans. I don't. And so for me, you got to pick one. And I've said this before. I don't know if Warner Brothers even wants 2 Batmans. I don't know if
No, it's a
another
headache.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, like, bro, what if one Batman outshines the other? Like it's just too much. It's too much competition. It's just too much. I just personally, I just don't see it working, and I don't want to Batman. So it's either scrap Robert Pattinson or have Robert Pattinson be the DCU Batman. That's the way I look at it. And if I get to pick one, I think that Robert Pattinson has so much potential. He's the perfect age where he looks young, but he's also old enough that I'll believe he has a son. Like if he I think in real life he's almost 40. He could have a Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
So it's like I just think, yeah, I just think you can do both.
Um, it's a headache for them to do 2 Batman. I get that. I get that. The success of Matt Reeves' Batman universe, bro, it's going to be hard to try to sell a new Batman when
Yeah.
everyone's going to go, what happened to Robert? Oh, we're still
Mhm.
getting him? Then what's this Batman doing? Like it's a headache. I get it. I get all that. Like I said, for me and you, we'd be like, I get it. General audience, they won't. You just said it. Your parents would ask you, other people would ask, they'd be confused. I understand all that. And it's also crazy for me to argue with a Batman that we don't even have yet. We don't have a comic book Batman
Yeah.
at all. All they said is we're getting Batman Brave and the Bold, and he's going to have Damian Wayne in there. That's all we have.
Mhm.
We have a director and we have a title, and that's all we have. We have nothing more than that. I'm over here fucking saying that it's going to be a comic book version of Batman, but that's only because I'm looking at who James Gunn is. I'm looking at
Yeah.
him being like, bro, he like his style and how he runs this type of shit for his comic book characters are very much like out there. So I'm
Mhm.
looking at his version of who Batman could be for the future is out there, and I want that at this point because we've had plenty of realistic Batman. We've had plenty of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we just had what, 3 in a row? Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and then Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I mean, well,
If
like I
you
said,
if you include Ben Affleck, like
well,
you
no,
said, I
I was
mean,
going to say I don't include him as realistic Batman. I look at him. I mean, yes, you're right. Me saying the graphic novel type and everything like that, but I mean, it's the suit. It's him standing with the superheroes. Like it's him being in that world that he stands different compared to others. But
I guess what I'm
you
trying to
can
say
do that
is
with Rob Pattinson, and you could still sell that. And if
yeah.
they do, then yeah, I'll be happy.
I guess what I'm trying to say though is it's not fair to hold Robert Pattinson up to that standard because he's only year 2.
Yeah,
So it's like
I know.
Ben Affleck, he's an older Batman, and you're already throwing him with the Justice League. So like obviously he's not going to seem realistic because he's with these other characters that are not realistic. Whereas Robert Pattinson's movie was just him year 2 with all realistic type. I say
Oh yeah,
realistic
yeah,
loosely,
yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like
yeah, yeah.
so, I just think it's not fair to put him in that book because we've only seen one movie and it was year 2, a completely different scenario than Ben
Mhm.
Affleck, who's already year who knows what. Like he's already an old Batman. He's already had Robins. This Batman hasn't. So it's like maybe like I just feel like you put him in the Justice League by the time we get to that point, he could already be comic book Batman, right? Like I don't
No,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I'm curious how you're gonna feel about this Superman because you seem very tied to Ben Affleck, and so I'm curious how you're gonna feel about seeing David versus Henry. You don't seem like you have that strong a connection with Henry as you do with Ben, if that makes sense.
Uh, Maybe because Batman's my number one,
Yeah,
and
because I agree with you. Ben Affleck was fucking fantastic. If not for this Robert Pattinson movie, which I found fantastic, and seeing it a second time and seeing it a third time, I just like it even more each time I see it. And I think for Robert Pattinson's Batman, I just see the potential. It's not even more so about how he is in Batman. I just see, bro, this is only year 2 Batman, and he's this savage, he's this brute, like he's this physical, like he's not as physically doesn't have as big a physical presence as Ben Affleck, but like just the fighting scenes alone that we saw, he's savage. That's what I liked more about Ben. That's what I liked most about Ben. And so I think for Robert Pattinson, for me, I just see the potential. And so I think that's why I'm already choosing him over Ben. But
you're
Ben
right
Affleck
though.
was my favorite Batman.
You're right though. The size I really like. I like the size of Ben too. I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter whether it's a good Batman or not. But for me personally, I do like the size of Ben. Why? Also because how you mentioned earlier, it also reminds me of the Arkham shit. It reminds me
Yeah.
of the video games. How big that Batman was and everything he can
The
do. Like
Dark
how
Knight too.
yeah, that type of shit too. Like I like
The
that.
animated. The animated. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Dark Knight Returns and everything like that, whether it be the animation or the comic itself. But I mean, I like that version of Batman, so that will always play a special place in my heart for it. But you are 100% right. I can't judge Pattinson when he's only year 2 and we've only had one movie. And when Ben Affleck, he was already towards the end of his Batman career, and then after he's basically past his prime, well, yeah, a little past his prime, and then he gets thrown into the fantastical mythical world. Then he kind of looks like he stands with them on par. When we don't have any of that for Rob Pattinson, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Like I said, I'm a lot more on board
Wow,
now.
dude.
No, 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 no. What I'm gonna say, I'm a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
more on board now than I was at the beginning of the week because
Mhm.
I knew. I told Marco, I was like, bro, I gotta figure this shit out because when I talk to Mario, I have to have answers.
Yeah, I'm just genuinely curious because I feel like for you, yeah, okay, so I'll say this. If Robert Pattinson's movie comes out, okay, well, I guess that's stupid to say because I think without Ben, Robert Pattinson's your favorite Batman. Is that safe to
Yes,
assume?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Um, I just think,
He's already better than Bell. He's already
yeah, he's
better
already better than
than
Bell. Yes.
Keaton. Me
Yeah.
and you love the fucking Joel Schumacher Batmans with Val Kilmer and George Clooney
Yeah.
because I mean, bro, those feel like a comic book. Those feel
Yes.
like an unrealistic
And
type
see,
world and
but I
everything like
think
that.
that's like, I love
But
those movies.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
those movies. Yes.
And I
But I
love that
think
they're
those are
not
silly.
realistic. Yeah, and they're silly. They're meant for
Yes.
kids. Like I like that
Yeah.
feel to it. Like those will
I
always
don't know.
play a
I don't,
special.
those will have a special place in my heart. Yes. I agree with you. And I
Oh,
love those
and I'm not
movies.
saying that James Gunn's Batman needs to be a silly type Batman like that, but I'm saying the feel of it.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
gives that vibe of bro, this is like a fucking unrealistic comic book like
Yeah.
world. Like I like that feel to it. Um, but
Yeah.
yes, Rob
See,
Pattinson
and me
is
personally,
my second Batman right now.
I like the detective type realistic Batmans. I love those. Um, I just think that fits Batman. But I understand
Because
he
it's who
has
he is,
rogues that are
yeah.
not realistic. I understand he has rogues that are not realistic. I understand he has villains that are not realistic. Um, I understand that Batman needs to be so if he's gonna compete with Superman, he's got to be more than just a realistic person, more than just a guy. I
Yeah,
understand that. But I just think it's not fair to hold Robert Pattinson to that standard because he's only year 2. and Ben Affleck was already a year, whatever. Who knows what it was?
20
So
years in Gotham, he said.
yeah. And I think with Robert Pattinson only being year 2, you can definitely change the way you want to do this Batman. It's still so early.
No, yeah. It is.
Whereas, like, let's say Christian Bale stayed Batman. Let's say after the 3rd movie, they were like, okay, now we want to get into more comic accurate shit. That one I think would have been hard to do because Christian Bale was just a fucking guy. He was just a guy in a bat suit. Like that's what it was. Either way, I don't know. I think either way, whatever they want to do, I just don't think 2 Batmans is gonna work. So however they decide to do it, whatever.
No, yeah, and like I said, even with me saying that it's a headache now, I know it's a headache. It's going to be confusing as hell for a lot of people out
They're
there,
gonna have to pick.
and they're going to end up picking Robert Pattinson.
Well, that's just
He's
it's the
already
safest bet.
established. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
safest bet. He's already established. And how Marco pointed out, it's not too late to do a tone shift. The audience doesn't know that this Batman has to be realistic. They don't know that. They've seen it from one movie, but that's just to pull them in, and then they're going to introduce everything else. And that's fine now. Like I said, I've had to really realize all this shit. Like, I'm good with it now. I am.
Yeah. Especially if you do a time jump. Like, this is year 2 Batman. By the time he interacts with David Cornsweet Superman, maybe he's year 4, year 6,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you could do
and
that.
he's already done some shit. He's already had to readjust the way he's Batman because he's come in contact with these villains that are not realistic, that are mythical. So I think the potential is there with Robert Pattinson, and he's the safer bet. It's a safer bet to go with him than someone we don't know or a new Batman. It's just a safer bet. But I don't know. Hey, at the end of the day, bro, we can say all this shit. We need fucking Batman Beyond. That's what we need.
Oh,
That's what we need.
hey,
However we get to that point, I'm on board.
I got you. Ben Affleck comes back to reprise his old man Batman boy. Yes, sir. Well, we get Terry McGinnis.
I felt like that was the route we were going, and that's why I loved Ben Affleck as Batman, because
Yeah.
you knew he was not in his prime, and you knew, okay, he's already had Robins, he's already been there, done that. You're thinking bit long term storytelling. We're getting Batman Beyond, but then it just got pulled from us. But whatever. Anything else?
Nah. All this to say, the Superman trailer was amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was
wait to see
fantastic.
this marketing continue all the way up to July. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Just look at what this done though. This news of the DCU, the Superman trailer. We've had a full episode talking about DC. Like, how long has it been since we've been able to do that? Like,
Oh
just
boy, we've been waiting for this too. We've been waiting
look at
for
what
this.
this has done. Like, it's so
God.
awesome as a DC fan to be like the Superman trailer, the news of Robert Pattinson maybe joining the DCU. Like, it's finally good to have DC in conversation again. So yeah, but this week's Christmas,
Yeah.
so I want to try to see Nosferatu. No promises that we'll be able to review it next episode, but I'm hoping so.
Yeah, there's a lot we need to squeeze in.
Yeah, because this week will come out. Oh, we're also gonna have to rank our movies too. See, I'd like to watch it before we rank our 2024 movies because we saw a lot.
Yeah.
And Nosferatu apparently is in people's top 10, so it's like I want to watch it before, but we'll just have to find time.
Yeah.
It may just be, Teresa doesn't want to watch it, so it'll just be a movie that we'll just have to go at night and watch it.
Yeah, that's fine. Emily doesn't want to watch it, so
because Christmas is Wednesday, so maybe we can go like a Thursday or Friday night, bust it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But yeah, all right. Anything else?
No, that's it, bro. It's been a long ass episode.
Cool. Catch you guys next week.
All right, later.